Jewelry brands can make serious money on Google Ads, but it's also one of the easiest categories to waste money in because jewelry brands often have many SKUs and the platform will happily spend whatever converts, not what's the most profitable. Most accounts I audits, they're not failing because they lack campaigns, they're not failing because they lack budget, they're failing because the account is optimizing to averages across too many SKUs with no link to contribution margin, with no link to an understanding of the products which drive the most value. When you've got thousands of products, then it's likely a handful of winning products are masking hundreds of quiet losers, and Google's spending on lots of different products which actually are losing you money over the long term. The dashboard in Google might look fine, but actually when you drill down into it, the P&L doesn't, and actually lots of products are losing you money. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how we approach Google Ads for demi-fine and fine jewelry brands, how we model profitability at the product level, how we structure campaigns to control signals, and how we handle brand defense and seasonality without letting Google inflate performance with non-incremental spend. So here's how jewelry works on Google. It's brand plus product, it's not either or. Jewelry is a blend of brand driven and product driven demand. Ultimately, you need the search volume there to scale on Google. You can't force demand for a category that doesn't have it. So the product market fit of course matters, and the category TAM matters. Brand matters because brand awareness that you have increases your click-through rate, increases your conversion rate at that exact moment someone is in market. But Google is ultimately demand capture. Meta and other channels build memory, they build recognition, and they build brand preference. In most cases, Google shouldn't be more than 50% of your total ad spend for a jewelry brand, because you want to actively create demand and keep growing category awareness, not just harvest what already exists. If you're just on Google, then when someone's searching for you and someone's searching for a generic term and they find you on Google, they're not going to recognize you, and you're going to lose out to someone who is more recognizable and has more memory in market about them because they've already built up awareness. So here's the point that most jewelry brands miss optimizing their Google Ads campaigns. They're optimizing towards fixed blended ROAS targets instead of contribution margin. If you run a flat ROAS target across everything, you're treating a £100 personalized product the same as a £900 fine piece, even though the unit economics and the product are completely different. Return rates vary, discount depth varies, shipping and fulfillment costs might vary, although probably not for jewelry. Margins vary massively. So ROAS as a single number isn't enough. So what we do is we build a product profit view. We look back over your last couple of years of data, not just looking at your revenue, but looking at contribution margin. So that's your revenue minus your cost of goods, minus your variable cost of sale, minus your returns. And then once you do that, you can genuinely figure out which products are your winners and which products are draining you money. Because in jewelry, in my experience, most brands don't have a huge LTV expansion after 12 months. Repeat purchase exists, but it's often smaller than people assume, not unlike, say, a health and wellness or supplement brand. So you typically want to bias towards first order profitability and new customer acquisition rather than letting the platform optimize towards easy wins. So once you know it's profitable, you can then structure the campaigns accordingly to stop Google just spending like an average base machine. We like to use a high-low zombie structure using custom labels at the product level and then using performance max and shopping campaigns around that. So to explain this, high will be the products which have high contribution margin and proven demand, and those are based on your last 30 days performance of that bucket of products. Low is the products which can work but need tighter control, and zombie is anything structurally weak. So by that I mean the products which haven't been getting enough spend. So we use that structure to boost products which need more spend and aren't getting impressions. So yeah, it's those three tier structure, and it's really important that you actually feed in not just what's performing. So high and low isn't just what's performing over the last 30 days. It needs to be factored into your return rates and at least your last 2 years of performance data, so that your contribution margin is actually factored into that. Otherwise, Google doesn't know that, and otherwise it's optimizing towards either a flat ROAS target, but most likely a flat ROAS target, or a ROAS target based on margin. And this is how we like to do it for jewelry brands. In terms of structure, mature jewelry brands, that typically means performance max campaigns for high, low, and zombie, and sometimes a separate performance max campaigns for one or two key categories where we really want tighter control and clearer reporting. So they might be products which sit in the top 5-10% of your highest performing products, and you actually want to control spend on those. The point here isn't to create like complexity for its own sake, it's to make sure that Google is spending on the products that you want it to, and that budget flows into the products that actually make you money, because Google has a habit of optimizing towards large range of products, but not necessarily all the ones that make you the most money. In terms of brand bidding, we always have in jewelry accounts, we have a basic brand defense setup. So we do tend to operate with some level of brand bidding in mature jewelry accounts to protect our brand, particularly when competition is high and during promotional periods. Because jewelry is a competitive space, we often see the competition bidding on our terms, and we often see that when competition is on sale, we'll see a negative impact. So we really find it's important to have a percentage of spend on brand, maybe around 10%, as high as 20% during promotional periods. And we do that through a brand shopping campaign with manual CPC bidding and tight budget controls to ensure that brand spend goes through that campaign. And then we have our Performance Max campaigns will all be generic. So we've got a clean separation of brand and generic traffic going into our Performance Max structure. And yeah, we would use manual CPC on the brand shopping campaign because it's about efficiency and controlling the CPC on that. It's less about driving the most volume. The other non-negotiable here is exclusions. So if you care about new customer growth, which most jewelry brands do, then you don't want to keep paying for customers to come back. You don't want to pay for existing customers. So we'll always use purchase and email exclusions for our Klaviyo and site audiences, and ensure that we're actively bidding down on those existing customers if they are searching for generic terms again, ensuring that Google isn't drifting into spending on those just for the easy conversion. In terms of how we manage promotions and gifting cycles in jewelry, we have to accept that jewelry is quite a cyclical industry, and it's an industry which has many different promotional moments. So you've got Christmas, you've got Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, anniversaries, weddings, and competitors are constantly going on sale. That does create pressure, and it's unrealistic to pretend you can avoid promotions. The trick is to not constantly go on promotion so that your customers get used to being on promotion, and that you amend your targets so that discounting doesn't overly compress your margins, which means you need tight control over your product selection and your targets, particularly during sale periods. And even then during sale periods, some products shouldn't be on sale because they can't survive the unit economics, and others should actually be scaled aggressively because they're both in demand and still profitable. But ultimately, if you run a one-size-fits-all structure with a flat discount across your range, then you're going to struggle because you're going to be eroding margin where you don't need to. To close, if you take one thing away from this, it's this. Jewelry brands don't usually need more campaigns or more budget. They need better product economics, cleaner segmentation, and stronger signal control across their campaigns. So if you're running one Performance Max campaign across thousands of SKUs with a flat ROAS target, you're almost certainly leaking profit somewhere. If you want us to take a look at your structure and show you where margin is being lost and how we would restructure it, then there'll be a link below to book a call. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.